The idea is that we want to get a little bit of description of the what the workshop coming up in November is going to be about. Kind of like the way you do with a seminar, just a little description of what points might be covered or what have you.
It may increase or augment your understanding on many different fronts. And we trust that it will also entice a beautiful response. So the title of the workshop is Empowerment.
Yes.
Powerless versus powerfulness.
Yes.
So the standard understanding of powerlessness can be said to be a state of mind where the individual may indeed feel or even be fully convinced that he or she has very little, if any, or perhaps even no control over the affectations or aspects of the occurrences of daily living. In many respects, even though sometimes it may be extremely subtle, perhaps even that an individual may think they have no such conviction, no such sets of beliefs. Some people may have an understanding that they are born into a particular time, a historical period. They are born into a particular country, nationality, society, culture, tradition, family unit, that their upbringing, their past, their circumstances, that all of these things exert such an influence that they have very little, if no control at all, in altering any such situation that compels them to act or behave or to think rationally or irrationally at all. That they are more or less destined or fated to be the way they are, and that is that. And once you begin to believe, once you begin to anticipate, to expect that any such affectations upon your personality governs who you are, who you want to be, who you are trying to be, then, perhaps even ever so subtly, one experiences situations, circumstances, conditions of life that seem to justify that state of mind. Because as we have suggested before, and as Ferulin has introduced, the universe is a state of mind. The universe is your state of mind. So what you experience is generated by, perhaps by default, shall we say, by the state of mind that you hold. And some people will call it by that vibration. Does it make sense to you? And it is nobody else's state of mind. Neither is it any supreme, supernatural deity or God state of mind imposed upon you as the priests or religious directors elaborate upon. It is your state of mind, therefore you can do something about your state of mind. Though you may be unable to do anything about anyone else's state of mind, except perhaps exert a small influence here and there, to which they will do what they want to do in either case. But your state of mind is something that is malleable. It is pliable. The plasticity, the fluidity of your state of mind is unbelievable. You can begin to mold it and shape it and design it in such a way that your experiences are not only transformed but also transformational. That one transformation leads into another. That the outcome, the affectations of your state of mind begin to manifest peace. Peace of mind, peace of body, health, wealth perhaps. But that first of all, it is the state of mind. Do not expect that you will be able to change your state of mind, hence your universe, once you have that peace of mind. Or once you have the affluence, or once you have the power. It does not work backwards, in that sense of the word. Does it make sense to you? And altering your state of mind does not in any way, shape or form imply that you can make the rain stop or the rain come, the sun set, the sun rise, the moon set, the moon rise. But it does imply that your personal circumstances do not have to be affected by these kinds of external conditions. Once you can release your attachment to how you want your life in the universe to be, strictly from the ego-logical mental platform, which is usually filled with struggles and strife, because you are pushing against, and accept that by altering the state of your mind, the state of your awareness, regardless whether the sun is setting or rising, the moon is setting or rising, the storm comes and goes, you can hold steadfast in your peace of mind, in your inner joy, and still feel that deep bond or connection with the matrix of all life, what you call source, the womb of existence. It is not the kind of empowerment that comes from yelling at you from a stage to try to convince you that you can step on hot coals and therefore be great and powerful. These do not permanently alter the state of mind, but temporarily titillate it until you fall back in your old habits. We are talking about a state of mind that can transform the universe, your universe. So we will be presenting different simple approaches and practices in perspective that will rejoice you and warm the cockles of your heart, as well as set your mind and awareness on fire in such a way that you can burn away that which is old and wears you down from experiencing your own sovereignty. The sovereignty that stems from being bonded or united with Source. It should also be known that this is not going to be for those who are faint of heart, because it may require that you enter or travel outside of your mental comfort zones and release perhaps some shadows that you have thought you had buried in your awareness, never to be seen again. But like old ghosts, some of these buried shadows tend to haunt. So it is perhaps a powerful tool to clean house, get rid of the cobwebs in the attic, and whatever nefarious little shadows you have shoved into the basement of consciousness. Because if you are invited to step outside of your comfort zone, you may recognize that what you thought was your comfort zone was not a comfort zone. It may even have been a prison. So if you have prisoners in a prison and you give them drapes and paint and wallpaper and artwork to decorate their cell, does it mean they are no longer in a prison? Now, we are not necessarily implying that you are prisoners, that you have done something wrong, but we are saying that often the individual does not yet recognize that they have imprisoned themselves through indoctrination and conditioning that says that they are perhaps sinful, shameful, full of iniquity, and so on and so forth. And once you buy into that kind of worldview, then of course, as with all things that you believe, it becomes true. So the idea here is to transform the nature of the very beliefs or convictions that you hold. And in this way, free yourselves from old patterns, old paradigms, psychological and mental crutches that impede your natural flow. So in this way, we thank you for your consideration, and we return Joseph to you.